What's good, Panther Nation? It's your boy, Myron McRae, a.k.a. Tornado McRae, across the skies of the internet, and welcome to another episode of Panther Pride TV, your one-stop shop for all your Panther notifications and your Panther obligations. Hope y'all are having a fantastic Friday, and we're going to get right into this. And with the draft looming, I got to ask the question, and I've been thinking about it a lot. Are rounds 4 and 5 going to be where we find our gems this year in the NFL draft? Now, all of us, we know that Dan Morgan has been pulling off some phenomenal moves here in the offseason and pulling some strings behind the scenes to put us in a great position for this draft. And truth be told, the past has also kind of helped us fall into this position, right? And so most notably with the upcoming draft, if you have not paid attention, we have 5 total picks in between round 4 and 5. 5 picks over 2 rounds? Hey, man, I'm not complaining not one bit about that, because we have, in round 4, we have pick 111 and 114. Thank you, Dallas. We'll greatly appreciate that. And then in round 5, we have pick 140 from the Giants, 146, our own pick, and then pick 163 from the Ravens while they take our 6th round pick. So we don't have a 6th round pick, but that's okay. That's okay, because like I said, 5 picks, 2 rounds in the middle of the draft, I'm okay with that. Plus, the middle round is known for having gems. You and I, we all know this, that the middle round guys tend to be where you can get a steal and nobody even thinks about it. So, naturally, what direction do we go in as a team? Do we go all offense in the middle round? Do we go all defense in the middle round, or do we have a blend of sorts? The trend I've seen across the internet has been we're going all defense or predominant defense. And after last season, I can't disagree with that. I can't sit there and say that's a bad position to go in, because our defense, as we all know, it was bad, man. It was bad, for lack of a better words. But if you're asking me, if you're asking my own personal opinion here to tell y'all the truth, I would prefer us to go with a blend of both offense and defense. The reason being, it ensures that we're addressing the needs and voids that we have on both sides of the ball, because even the draft experts say our main 3 issues, edge rusher, DT, and wide receiver. That's defense and the offense. So as long as we do a blend on the picks that we have between rounds 4 and 5, we're addressing both of those needs, and we can make sure we're picking up just a few diamonds in the rough while we're at it. So with my idea, with the blend, here's how I would say I believe we should go. Offensively, if we do pick anybody for the offensive side of the ball in between these rounds, I say we definitely go wide receiver, or we go with offensive linemen. Honestly, you can't give Bryce enough weapons on the outside or in the slot. So that's neither here nor there. But you also can't give Bryce enough protection either. O-linemen up front, the big boys who can help block and keep him off the ground while he's making these passes and making these throws, will only help and boost his confidence. And we know with Bryce, confidence is key. Confidence is everything. So I definitely want us to go O-line or definitely go receiver, because, again, adding those weapons, adding another Jalen Coker, adding another guy in the slot, in the wide out spot for Bryce to throw to outside of Thielen, Leggett, and Coker, it just makes sense. It helps. We don't want to be limited and only be able to throw to certain people, and it's like, all right, now we're dialed in. We know that you're only going to go to these individuals. You know what I mean? So I like that. Now, with that being said, on the defensive side of the ball, we have to address the front 7 first. I don't know what to tell y'all. We have to address that front 7 first. If we have addressed the front 7 by the time we get to these picks, I am okay, firmly okay, with us then addressing the secondary, especially the corners. Last season, I felt our weakness in the secondary was more on the corners, especially in terms of tackling, bro. Because think about it. Xavier Woods, our safety, was our leading tackler on the whole team. That can't happen. We can't have that, man. And I know y'all feel the same way. And not only was he the leading tackler, he was also our leader in interceptions. So we need to find another solidified star across from JC to give our back end safeties some breaks, to give them some rest. Even if JC is the cover corner, the one that gets all the interceptions, at least let's get a hitting corner that's going to make the 4 short tackles on the other end. That way we have lockdown on either side. We have to address that, and we need that because we can't have our safeties leading the team in tackles anymore. We just can't do it. But before we can have that, we have to make sure that front 7 is locked in and solidified. And I like the idea of us having this many picks in the middle rounds because middle round guys, I feel, are more hungry than the first and second round guys because they have something to prove. Prime example, Chuba Hubbard was our 4th round pick in the 2021 draft, and this man just gave us a 1,000-yard season. It was beautiful. And Chuba said, hey, he plays with that chip on his shoulder. So having this many guys in this realm of like, oh, they're doubting me. I should have been a number 1, a 1st round, 2nd round pick. And I fell this far. They're coming in ready to just hit the ground running and ready to show the world why they should have been taken earlier. So in my eyes, I think this is nothing but a blessing for our team. Plus, if we decide to make a big trade move on draft day, this gives us a little more trade bait, so to speak. It gives us something extra to throw into a trade to make it more enticing, to make it more just all coming to another franchise who's like, all right, throw in that 5th round pick that y'all got. Okay, here. We got 2 more 5th round picks. All right, here, take it. You can have this, man. So overall, I definitely think that is going to play into our role. But speaking of futures and speaking of that, we can't talk about our future without talking about the QB1 right now, Mr. Bryce Young. Bryce, I love you, man. And the real question here is, what's the outlook for you heading into 2025? We all know Bryce has had an up and down career. We all know that in terms of last season, he seemed to have turned the page, though. The end of last year, that was a completely different Bryce, and he seems to have found a new leaf. And I have full confidence in Bryce Young. I firmly believe that going into this season, he has earned the right to be the full-time starter, no questions asked. If you disagree with me, respectfully, you're just going to have to disagree with me on that one. I think he's done it. Now, with being a full-time starter, here comes my seasonal expectations for Bryce for this upcoming year, but we're going to look at his last 2 years before I tell y'all what I think he should be doing. 2023, the man put up 2,800 yards, 11 TDs, 10 touchdowns on 60% completion percentage. He had a passer rating of 73.3, a QBR of 34.1. He had 253 rushing yards, 0 rushing touchdowns, and 2 fumbles. Then last year, Bryce had 2,403 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 61 completion percentage, a passer rating of 82.2, a QBR 54.1, 249 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns, and 2 fumbles. So, you're asking yourself, Myron, all right, what's that mean? And what are you thinking? Here's what I'm expecting and I would like to see out of Bryce for 2025. First things first, Bryce, I want you to throw for 3,000 yards. I would like you to eclipse the 3,000-yard mark this year. I don't care if you do it by 3,001 yards. I don't care if you do 3,200 yards. I would just like to see you eclipse the 3,000-yard mark for the first time in your career. I think you deserve that. Secondly, I would like you to throw for 20 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. I'm not pushing too much on you, but 20 touchdowns and then 2 fewer interceptions, that's going in the right direction. Doing that all on 65% completion percentage. I think that's very doable for you. I would love for you to have a passer rating of a 91, a QBR of 70.5, 300 rushing yards, 7 rushing TDs, and just 1 fumble. And the reason why those are my numbers is because that's showing progress, but I'm not putting Bryce into unrealistic territory. Because to ask Bryce to go from a 2,400 yards per season to 3,800, come on, y'all. That's unreasonable. But his first year, he had 2,800. So to ask him to get 3,000 when he's gotten close before, that's not unreasonable. He went from 11 passing TDs to 15. 5 more. That's not unreasonable. He went from 10 interceptions to 9 interceptions, go down to 7 interceptions. That's not unreasonable. So I'm giving Bryce goals that are reachable, but also are pushing him to go in the right direction, because I can't have you regress, Bryce. This is not the time for regression. I can't ask you to do that. I need you to stride forward nonetheless. We cannot regress. Now, he can have a bad game, but he can't regress. And those of you who really understand me, y'all know what I'm saying. A bad game doesn't mean Bryce is regressing, but we will know when Bryce is regressing. Like, we will all know that. So with all that in mind, I genuinely think that he's in a good position to achieve those goals. And truth be told, I hope he blows me out the water. I hope he blows everything I said out the blue. And lastly, speaking of Bryce, we have to talk about the chief in charge, Dave Canales, sir, and just doing a season in review. Because looking at your first year, and what does year 2 hold for Canales? And honestly, last year I thought Canales did great. For what he was given, where he was thrown into the fire, and what he had to do, I don't think a coach could have done any better than what he was able to get out of our team. Like, especially considering how everything started. One, the QB situation. He handled that with grace, poise, and just so much mature leadership, like a veteran coach. Like, he's been doing this for 15 years. He knew when to take Bryce out and put Andy in, but he also knew when he put Bryce in, when to let Bryce ride out the rest of the year. And oh my God, it was the right decision. I honestly don't think he could have handled that any better. And truthfully, he handled our quarterback situation way better than head coaches of other franchises are handling their quarterback situations, i.e. the Steelers, Giants, and the Jets. Let's be truthful. Play calling wise, it got better as the season progressed. The first couple of games may have been due to jitters. He's a head coach, first time calling the NFL, doing the thing. So that may have been the reason why it looked bad at the start. But primarily, it got better as we went later on in the season. And also, that's mainly due to the fact that he became more comfortable with taking bigger risks and bigger chunk plays. Went from playing conservative and not trying to lose to more aggressive and actually trying to win the game. So I love that. And I just cannot say enough about that. So when we go into this season, one, Dan, I need that aggression back. That aggression we had at the end of the year, I want it back. I don't want it to go away. I need that back. 2, it's great having Rico with Chuba in the backfield. I'm looking forward to it. But please, 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 do not forget the passing game. Do not forget to utilize it, and don't make us one-dimensional to where once we're trying to go passing, Bryce isn't in a rhythm, Xavier's not in a rhythm, Thielen's not in a rhythm, Coker's not in a rhythm, nobody's in a rhythm. Please be able to balance that out. And 3, take chances on Bryce. Like, take chances and put him in great positions to thrive like you did at the end of last year, and just let him be him. And lastly, and this is just a personal pet peeve of mine, don't call as many screen passes. I'm not a fan of them, but just don't call as many screen passes. That's just me. But Panther Nation, that's all I have for today's episode of Panther Pride TV. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can get all your Panther notifications and Panther obligations. Because, guys, I love each and every one of you. Make sure to leave a comment. Tell me what y'all think. Because at the end of the day, what do I know? I'm just a skinny brother with 2 tats. Peace. Much love to all of y'all. Later days, and Panther Nation, keep pounding. I'll see you next time.